Hi everyone, so today I'm going to talk to you guys about growing a Three Sisters garden. So before I start the video, I just want to point out that when you are sowing the seeds, you're supposed to space them out. However, I ended up sowing the seeds at the same time because we have issues with squirrels digging up the seeds. So when you sow the seeds, you start with the corn first. And when the corn plant reaches about 6 to 12 inches tall, then sow your beans around the corn. Then a week after sowing the beans, you sow the squash last. Here's the video and I hope that you guys enjoy it. Hi everyone, Misilla here, Learn to Grow. I hope that you guys are having a great day. So today I'm going to share with you a companion planting method that has been around for centuries and also a tradition of the Native Americans. So this is called the Three Sisters Garden and it consists of squash, corn, and beans. So it's a great companion planting method because each plant benefit from each other and they also do not fight for nutrients and or water because they take up nutrients and water at different levels in the soil. So the first crop is corn, and the corn will provide something to climb on for the beans, which is the second crop. So we'll be planting pole beans, which will climb the corn. Now the bean is a nitrogen fixing plant, so it sustains itself and also can add nitrogen in the soil. It actually has a symbiotic relationship with a soil dwelling bacteria called rhizobia. So what happens is this bacteria will infect the roots, form these nodules on the roots of the bean plants, extracts nitrogen from the air and converts it into a form that plants can use. So it kind of makes the bean a self-sustaining plant, but also will add nitrogen in the soil for the rest of the crop, such as the corn. Now the squash will shade the soil or the ground, which will prevent weeds from sprouting and also will help retain moisture in the soil. Now just make sure to plant your Three Sisters garden in full sun, at least 6 hours. More is even better. And make sure to amend your soil with plenty of organic matter. So I usually just add compost every season. Once a year I add compost, and when the plants are fruiting, you feed the plants every month for in-ground beds and every 2 to 3 weeks for plants grown in containers. And you can grow these in containers as well, so just make sure that your container is big enough. Anyways, here is the video from seeding to the 3-week update, which is today. Would love to hear from you guys if you are growing the Three Sisters this year. So the varieties we're growing, I believe, is early glow corn and sweet bodacious corn. Trying to remember. Zucchini squash on this side and I think behind me. And I just sowed some butternut squash today to replace the zucchini seedlings that were eaten by the squirrels. And the beans I'm growing are just pole beans, and I think the other one is purple potted pole beans. I can't remember the exact name. But anyways guys, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Have a great day and happy gardening. Here is our Three Sisters bed. This bed measures 6 feet long and 30 inches wide. And I went ahead and placed the seeds in the planting hole so you can see the layout. So the corn seeds are spaced 9 inches apart, and the rows are about 11 to 12 inches apart. And over here, I laid out where the beans are going to go. So there are 4 beans. You can place between 2 to 4 bean seeds around the corn. And the squash seeds are at the ends of the bed, both ends, and also here on the front. Now let's talk about seed depth. Typically, you want to plant your seed about 2 to 3 times the width of the seed. But with corn, it's a different case because it grows nodal roots along the lower stems. So you want to plant your corn seeds about 1.5 inches to 2.5 inches deep. This will also ensure that it gets enough moisture so that way it can germinate. So this planting hole is about 2 inches deep. So let's go ahead and cover them up. I am sowing 3 zucchini seeds just because I want to make sure that I have a good germination rate. The squirrels dig up the seeds all the time. So for squash seeds, you need to plant them about 1 inch deep. And beans should be buried about 1 inch deep. And I usually just push them down. This soil is pretty loamy. When you're sowing the beans around the corn, you can place each bean about 3 to 4 inches apart from the corn seeds. After planting your seeds, make sure to keep the soil evenly moist. The corn beans should germinate in about 10 to 14 days when temperature is at least 50 degrees Fahrenheit. The beans and the squash will germinate in about 7 to 10 days with temperatures about 60 degrees and above. 11-day update since the seeds were sown, and it looks like most of them have emerged. You can see the corn seedlings. There's a few, and most of the beans have sprouted. A couple of the zucchini squashes. Unfortunately, something got to the zucchini seedlings, but it looks like there's another one emerging right there to the right. So I started some squash seeds in these little seed pods as a backup, just in case the seeds get dug up again. The squirrels seem to love the squash seeds. So anyways, just want to show you these little pods and how easy it is to transplant these into the ground. You just tear off this little mesh and you just put them in the soil or in the pot. So we'll go ahead and pop these two in there as a backup. So hopefully the squirrels leave these alone. Another update. So it's been 3 weeks since the seeds were sown. So today is June 22nd. And the beans are looking great. The corn plants are starting to catch up. Unfortunately, some of them were dug up and or eaten, and the squash plants or seedlings are pretty much gone. Looks like something's been munching on them. This one is thriving. And these two are the ones that I planted, which were started separately because the ones that were directly sown were killed. So it looks like some of them did not sprout in this area. Most likely they've been dug up. Okay, so I just saw this and it looks like maybe a squirrel dug up this corn. That's too bad. I'm hoping that these corn seedlings will catch up so that way the beans have something to climb on. I initially sowed 4 beans around the corn because I knew something like this would happen. See, all these other beans are gone. But it looks like the majority of them made it. So my plan is to sow more squash seeds, which is okay because it'll be a succession planting. So these will produce fruit first, and then these will produce later on when these ones are slowing down.